PFF has worst-case draft scenarios for all 32 teams. For the Browns, they say the worst-case scenario is not drafting an offensive lineman. And they do new signee, Cornelius Lucas, potential starting left tackle, Wyatt Teller, Joel Bitonio, Ethan Posich, all free agents, none above a 63.9 PFF grade last season. I'm going to disagree with this as the worst-case scenario, and we'll see why in a minute. I get that they have to upgrade the offensive line. They have to get younger. I agree with all of that. And we'll get to – you're smiling because you know where I'm going, but they do need to get younger on the offensive line.
Yeah, there's no argument there, and I expect them to. And, they took Zach Zinter in the third round last year, so it's not like they don't understand that. It was Luke Whippler and DeJuan Jones the year before that, if I'm getting that right. I know Jones was. I think that was Whippler's rookie class too. So they've drafted young guys, not in the first couple rounds in a long time on the offense, on the offensive line. But Andrew Berry appreciates that. He always talks about the importance of linemen. So I'm with you. They need to draft one, but I could probably think of some worse things too.
All right, here's why I'm saying this. Take a look at this and tell me how many of their first 5 or 6 picks they need to get the playmakers and skill position guys with. Yeah. This is the roster. It's Kenny Pickett. They don't have anybody else. You got Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong and nobody else. You got Jerry Jeudy and then Cedric Tillman and David Bell and David Njoku who hasn't been healthy. Man, with that skill position group, how many of your first, second, third, fourth round picks do you have to go and get guys that are skill position guys and replenish the playmakers on this offense?
Yeah, that's a great question, David. I'm doing a little kind of free agency reset analysis, and as I play with the quarterback scenarios, whether you take one at number 2 or you don't, I think within those first, let's call them first 4 picks, right? The number 2, number 33, and then your 2 picks in the third round. I think the Browns have to come away with quarterback, running back, tight end, and then that 4th spot is up for grabs. If you want it to be a left tackle, okay. If you want to address defensive tackle, you can make that argument. If you want to go receiver, I would listen to that too. I think receiver could be addressed in free agency still. I think there's still some guys out there that could make some sense with the Browns. But yeah, I completely get your point. Where the offensive line, you can field the top 5, 6, 7 guys right now. It's not the same at quarterback, running back, tight end, and receiver. It's just not. So I do think there's probably a higher priority on those guys, assuming DeJuan Jones, you think DeJuan Jones can play left tackle. If you don't, then there's a pretty big hole at left tackle.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. And I'm remember, Zach Zinter was coming off a broken fibula, and interior offensive line. I think the guy can play. I liked the pick. I know he didn't play well when put on the field, but that's a matter of, all right, let's see what he does in his second year. He was a third-round pick, and again, coming off a broken fibula.
Well, it better be. And, they needed third-round picks to hit, right? You need a guy to take a jump from year one. He just wasn't nearly good enough last year. And I know it was a really small sample size, so I'm not making any final determinations there. But if you told me, okay, he was going to start 16 games at one of the guard spots, that would be a concern. And I think you'd have to have a plan B.
Absolutely.